everybody, and welcome back to the program. That's right, it's Chat Havers, baby. And with us tonight, very special guest, of course, it's HC Justin. Welcome, dog. Incredible to have you on the program, Justin. As I sort of get all of the Goo Crew members one by one, are you the last one? No. All right. Well, I haven't had Chibley, technically, though I don't know how much Chibley counts, but Demi I've had, Jesse I've had, Libby, Pat. I think Chibley doesn't count. I haven't had Charlie. Charlie's the last one, and Chibley also doesn't count. Justin's muted. Oh, God. Yeah. Hold on. I know. Just cool it. Just fucking cool it. Oh, he just can't hear you. Shut up. You shut the fuck up. How about that? Piece of shit. God. Well, we'll do all our riffs at the top again. Everything is, my life is horrible. You know what I mean? And I try and do. Okay, wait. Talk now, Justin.
I'm talking. Do you hear me, chat?
All right. You should be able to. Wait.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
They can hear me. It sounds good even. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Test this stuff before I start the stream? I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to figure out how to do? You want me to get Justin on 15 minutes early and then actually test the stuff we were supposed to test instead of just talking about whatever the fuck? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Sure, I'll stand up on my hind legs and I'll do that. No, I won't do that because that's not the kind of DIY material we bring to this. Now, Justin, what we were talking about is whether you were the last Goo Crew member to do the stream. In fact, we still have not had Charlie yet.
Okay.
We haven't had Charlie yet. So once we have Charlie, my Infinity Glove will be complete, and I'll leave the Goo Crew as soon as that happens. Charlie was on the
honorable thing to do.
Charlie was on the Friends stream. That is true. Charlie was on the Friends stream.
That's true. The Friends stream was like a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a room where we can, it's nice to have a room where what came to mind is we can laugh and play, you know? You know what?
It's good to have a laugh and play room. What more could you want?
Listen, it's underrated, the laugh and play room, you know? And I think as adults, not enough of us have a laugh and play room. It is a playroom. Yeah. It is. It's a room for playing and ideas and having a laugh.
So I live in a house like alone.
Uh-huh.
And like I'm so tempted to make one of the rooms. Like I was like, I could just paint this whole room floor to ceiling chroma. Just chroma green.
Hey.
And just make it a fucking goof room.
I mean, why not? You know? Then you've created the holodeck from Star Wars and Star Trek, and I think that's what it's all about.
It's true.
You know?
So I could like put myself in there and do like cool things.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like do a talk show or something. I don't know. That's the only idea I've had so far. That's the only idea I've had so far, but I'm still working on it. Folks, tonight, very excited to have Justin on. A topic I believe near and dear to both our hearts, and I hope many of you as well. Yes, that's right. Tonight we are talking about ska. That crazy music from the 80s, 90s, and early aughts, and kind of still now, but less. We love it or hate it. Ska was not here to stay. It sort of ended, but me and Justin both have some very fond memories of it, I believe.
Very fond memory. I'll also say before we get too deep into it, I feel like it's having a bit of a comeback.
You know, listen.
It has been having a resurgence.
I think that I could see you saw it a little with 100 Gex, exactly right, SVT, exactly right. 100 Gex had that on. And I do think it's like I could see Gen Z really taking it and like being like, no, it's actually cool. Like I do.
Yeah, no, I think that is a thing that's actively happening. Also, just on 100 Gex real quick, and since we're on about music.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the band Chat Pile? Have you ever heard Chat Pile?
No.
They are a miserable band. They're very
okay,
funny,
hold on. I just need to address this real quick. Wow is from 50 Jamaica, bro. I think you and I both know without you saying that comment that we're talking about the white guy ska in America. Obviously, I know where it's really from. But for the purposes of tonight, what would you have had me do? Say the topic is ska parentheses white? I mean, what do you want me to say? You know, it's like I'm not going to say that. Jesus. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Justin. I do not know Chat Pile.
Long story short, Chat Pile, love them. Incredible band, but like really miserable music.
Right.
100 gecs, I guess, likes them and had them open one of their shows.
Really?
And they did it. And I love that so much. Like, I feel like if you heard chat, like, you wouldn't think like, oh, 100 gecs fans would love this.
Yeah.
But they did it. And I love that so much.
It is crazy where it's like, I do feel like using this term very loose, like crazy music people that make any music with sort of atonality, like tend to like also music like that, but those things can mean such different things, you know?
Yeah,
that it ends up in those weird crossovers, you know?
For sure.
Are you a Primus head? Do you care about Primus?
No, I don't dislike Primus. I saw Les Claypool live when I was a small teenager.
Huh.
At an Ozfest in New Jersey.
Wow. Did he plays like jazz when he's by himself, right? Isn't that part of his deal?
I got there late, and his set was, I guess, finishing. He was just fucking riffing on a bass for like 15 minutes. It felt like.
That's so sick. That's so sick.
Just going wild on that thing.
Listen, I'm a Grateful Dead head, and you know, it's like from afar, it's like game respects game. Like I don't really care about Primus, but I can respect any other sort of cult music group that has a following full of people being like, but actually it's good though, and everyone else is wrong, you know. So
that's fair.
It's loving from a distance, you know.
That's fair. I like to. There's like a lot of bands. I'm obsessed with bands with really like strong fan bases.
Yes.
And when it's like not a band I'm interested on any level musically, I just like to like the depth at which like 311 fans go. Yeah. I respect so much. Yeah. It's crazy. I have friends who go on the 311 cruise every year. I'm like, they have a cruise.
That's crazy. Because like Sublime is one to me where I'm like, okay, I sort of get that, but it's like 311. It's 311. I mean, certainly at the time I was listening to a lot of all this music, I was listening to a lot of 311, but that is crazy. It is also crazy that I think one of the greatest hopes you can have as a band is that eventually you're still big enough to have a cruise.
Right.
Like, it seems cool, right?
Yeah, no, I imagine it's gotta be very chill to like be on a cruise, like just be like a cruise band.
Yeah.
That's gotta be nice.
Where you're just
I had a friend who played saxophone in a 311 cover band on the 311 cruise. They hired a 311 cover band to play the 311 cruise.
You know, at first I'm like, my gut is that's crazy, but then you think about it and you're like, well, they can't play 24/7, and everyone wants. They're
just like,
yeah, like
they're just playing at like registration, just 311 cover band, and like at the pool.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you know, cool. It's better than just hearing we can listen to the CDs at home. So, like, at least, it's not the 311s at nighttime, but we'll listen to, like, these other guys do 311 during the day. I think that's great.
It rocks. It's so fucking cool.
That's
the thing. I genuinely, like, in my bones, like, I'm not a 311 fan. But damn, do I respect 311 and 311 fans.
Yeah, I respect it. I think you've I feel the same way, Justin, as someone who deeply loves certain bands. I have to respect any band like that. Someone mentioned The Residents, which Les Claypool is a fan of. Also a band that Katie, my girlfriend, loves. That again, I'm like, that they're so cool in theory. I have no interest in listening to their music whatsoever. Welcome back, Dunkachino, too. Yeah. Do you care about The Residents?
I don't think I've heard The Residents.
They're another, they're another in this sort of like cultish band thing. I don't really know much about them. Listen, as I've said a million times on this program, I am not really a music guy fundamentally. I like music. I'm not a psycho. I'm not sitting here saying I don't like music. I love music. I love music as much as any other human being on earth enjoys. This honestly is extreme not liking music haver statement, which is I like the way the beats what they do to my body. You know, that's very much a guy who hates music trying to convince someone he likes music. But I know you were in bands also, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just like my quick storied history with music. When I was a young teenager, I had a ska record label, which we'll get back to.
Incredible.
But I did play the guitar forever. I was always too nervous to like play the guitar with or around anybody. And I had friends like kind of drag me kicking and screaming to a band practice and to play a show. Tandem B here in chat, my buddy Dave.
Tandem.
Happy 3 months. We met through ska. That's true.
Wow. I mean, what a perfect night in Tandem. Thank you, 3 months.
So many of my friends I met through ska, which is wild to think. Like, just it's because ska's not a big part of my life anymore. But,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, I was I played in bands in like my mid to late 20s. I had what I would call a hardcore punk band, and then like a post-punk hardcore band.
Yeah, I mean, we're really reaching this sort of
definitions.
Have no idea what the difference is there, but I assume there's people in chat who are like, Yeah.
One of the bands was very fast and like loud and angry, and the other band was like still kind of fast, but not really angry, but still loud.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best way I can do it.
Yeah. It's all about how loud and quick it is. I mean, if that's not how we can really decide what all music is in genre,
Yeah.
The loudness.
Yeah. I was never in a ska band. My way to try to get close to ska stuff was to book shows and then inevitably to start ska record label.
So what? Okay, let's just dive into the record label, because that's sort of like we were talking about this in your chat one day, which is why this is sort of how this topic came about. So like, what's up with what's up with it, baby?
So honestly, I was 16 years old and had no money. So it was really, when I say record label, I'm like a couple of bands and like the people who became my friends in those bands were like kind enough to release music with my name on it.
Right.
With me trying to like get people to throw money towards it. Like honestly, my biggest skill at the time, since it was
thank you, Agent Whiskey. Agent, welcome back.
It was like very early 2000s. It was like 2001. Maybe actually no, it was like 2000 to 2002 ish. But I was good at making websites, and no one really knew how to do that.
Right.
So that was like my big offer. I was like, I can make you a website, and I could like sell your shit on the website.
So at that point though, like I understand why then a bunch of teenagers are like, yeah, like then you're running a record label fully.
Yeah, and like we put out like.
Thank you, Jacob, for the joint.
Officially, we put out 2 records.
Nice.
So we did one, which was a split between 2 bands, which like are now friends. At the time, like they were guys I knew, and like I like kind of envied some. Like I was very into what they were doing.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was Premarital Sex, which was a Long Island ska band, and then the High School Football Heroes, who are another Long Island ska band. And the Football Heroes actually wound up like getting fairly like known.
Cool.
So if there's any ska heads in the chat, you might know the Football Heroes. But it was a split CD with them, and the second CD was not a ska band at all. It was a pop punk band with my friends called Jaded Ways.
Well, it's shades of I mean, it's birds of a feather, as it were. Like those things are all like those fan bases are quite related to one another.
Yeah. And my cool brag about Jaded Ways is the drummer for Jaded Ways is now the drummer for Bayside. So there's a Bayside fan. It's my buddy Chris, who's the drummer, and he's cool and I like him. This is going to be my name dropping stream.
No, I like this. I like this because it's completely lost on me, but I hope people in the chat, because I don't know what the fuck Bayside is, but that's really a condemnation of how little I know about music. Is if they weren't a member of a jam band from the early, that got together in the early 60s, I don't really know about them. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Have you ever seen the Grateful Dead, Justin?
No. So like, I don't know a whole lot about the Grateful Dead other than my only experience with Grateful Dead is I had a buddy who started out as my weed dealer back in New York.
Sure.
And became my friend over time.
Sure.
Missed the guy a lot. Haven't seen him in a minute. But he was a big Deadhead. So he would occasionally just like give me stories and stuff. And I was like, God, that does sound cool.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. And I think
I remember always feeling like, man, I wish I was into any band that much.
Would you say you're not? You don't have an obsessive band like that?
Not that far, I guess. Well, I feel like none of the bands I obsess over do anything that grand, I guess.
Right.
Like, I feel like any of the bands I really love a lot, like even like, I'm trying to think of like the most popular bands that I love. But the most I would do is be like, I'll go see them if they're in my city. Or like,
yeah.
Occasionally, like a band I love will play a reunion in New York, and I'll make the 6-hour drive home. Like,
right, just to check. Yeah, I mean that's what's so weird about the Dead, because they're so big, but also like not. And their live shows are packing out stadiums, but then like no one is thinking or caring about that. You know, it's such a weird, like, it's like they are both popular and not popular at the same time. Like, yeah. What about also this Jeff residency at the Warsaw?
All right, so what's funny about that? That's a Jeff flag behind me. Jeff's a friend of mine. Met him through ska. Also, I used to book his old band ASOB.
Incredible.
And then became friends with him and the rest of those guys. Their bassist John is one of my best friends. I love him to death. But anyway, I told them they are doing what is essentially a fucking band subathon. In that they are playing at the Warsaw in Brooklyn, and every night it sells out, they add another night the next night. So they're up to 7 nights in a row now. I will be at night 2. So if anyone's going to be at night 2, I'll be there.
That's so sick. That's really. I've never heard. I'm like surprised that I have never heard of a band doing that.
Right? I think it's a first. I don't think a band has done this.
Damn. They subathon that shit. Wow.
They did. I'm very proud of them. I love those boys.
Someone in the chat said the OCs are sick, and I have a good story on why they won't come to the DMV. I am curious about that.
Really?
I am curious about that.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
I've never been
to an OCs concert.
No, to the DMV.
No. You have. It's DC, Maryland, Virginia. In fact, Justin, you live there.
I was gonna be somewhere else. Yeah, I guess I live there.
Well,
I say I've never been there.
I was like, well, in fact, Justin, I hate to tell you this, you quite literally live there. Yeah.
My brain went like, that's somewhere in Detroit, I think.
Yeah. You know, it's a phrase though that like I think of when I think of it, I think of DC. Nova, which Richmond
North Virginia is. I don't think Richmond, I guess, is technically, but I've never heard it referred to.
Yeah, like I think of it as like the first step out of it, and then like Maryland, essentially, because Maryland isn't that big. So it's not that surprising that you haven't heard of it. You haven't heard of that, but you have been there, and you might even live in it. That's true.
Have lived here for 4 years now.
Yeah. Nova. When I think of the DMV, I think of the dang place where I can get my driver's license.
That's true. That's so right.
Yep. Exactly right. Well, folks, the phone lines are open. We're doing it on Discord tonight. We would love to hear from you. If you have any thoughts on ska, any stories about ska, and really any questions about ska, you're talking to two ska heads. I mean, I'll say a little bit of my own ska history.
Yeah, your ska history.
The first concert I sort of like went to that wasn't my parents taking it to me was was Real Big Fish, which I did when I was in like 6th grade. And so that was sort of the beginning. And I'd say like all through middle school and then some high school, but then slowly it became like, okay, like I love ska, but I don't think you'll feel me on this. It becomes less of a cool thing to like the older you get a little bit, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. Yeah.
There was a moment in my life for sure where people, it was like, and I like to feel like I didn't really like get affected by this, but I'm sure I did.
Right.
All the people I knew from the ska shows started going to like more punk shows and hardcore shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, still going to the ska shows? Oh, that's cute."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there's nothing like a music person telling you that's cute to make you never want to do something again and to shrink up and die. You know?
Yes.
So I was listening to that, and then I got really into Streetlight Manifesto, and they're a band. I mean, I'll still listen to them. I was just telling Justin, I've seen them like over 10 times. I really like Streetlight a lot. I think they're really good musicians, and to me are sort of like a cut above a lot of other ska bands of the third wave ska zone, you know? And that they're all like, they're just really good. And yeah, I also was a big Sublime head in high school, which feels related. I was just a big stoner, so like it's all kind of. I feel like for me, it morphed from ska into more like Sublime, Grateful Dead, like hippie kind of like classic stoner culture, because that to me was. Fair. I'm really, and it's funny to think back on because I'm really dealing with two of the bottom tier like fandoms. But for me, actually, if you can believe it, it was cooler for me to go from ska. It was an upgrade to go to Sublime. Like that was more street cred for me. That was more street cred for me. Yeah. Seeing Slightly Stupid a lot.
There's 2 Sublimes and they're at war.
Wait, there's the Sublime that has Bradley Nowell's son in it, right?
Yeah, and then there's Sublime with Rome, which didn't Sublime with Rome, aren't they calling it quits now?
I thought that Sublime with Rome and the new one were both the other two guys plus new singer. No.
No, I think there's separate Sublimes.
So what?
Same thing happened with Black Flag. There were 2 Black Flags for a bit.
Really? What's the? But Rome had to finish a contractually obligated tour while they fucked off with Brad. Oh, so like Rome had to go do it by himself. I see. Sublime with Rome is the number.
Rome without Sublime.
Rome without Sublime. Sublime without. Yeah, and they're doing Sublime without Rome, and Rome's doing Rome without Sublime. Man. I bet
I could have seen Sublime with Rome once, but I walked out.
Really?
Which seems mean. But in my head, I'm like, well, they're big. No, the Descendants were opening for them, and I was like, I'll go see the Descendants. And then I left as soon as the moment the Descendants ended.
Right. I don't. I
feel bad. That feels like an evil thing to do.
Nah. What's the most mainstream popular?
Popular ska song?
Not "Keys Be Nice."
100% the impression that I get.
Yes, impression that I get. I mean, you could probably make an argument like that a fucking even though they are a separate thing, that a fucking Smash Mouth song, you know, because some of those have horns in it. Like, if honestly,
some of them are a little ska influenced for sure.
I mean, they're more sort of like 50s style, but no, I would the impression that I get, Mighty Mighty Bosstones, and then maybe a Real Big Fish song or two. But yeah. In terms of anyone you're gonna hear on the radio, huh?
Sorry, I was gonna say, how old back? Like, what's the oldest ska band you like? Like, in terms of like waves of ska, or like, you know, is Streetlight kind of like your, like, where it kind of starts for you when it comes to ska?
I think like third wave ska really kicked off when I was getting into music. So like I would go to Streetlight, and then I would see like Less Than Jake would often play with them, with Real Big Fish as well. Like those are the bands that would sort of all be sort of circulating, you know, who I like to. Yeah, what is that? Hold on, let me refresh you, Justin. I do see you. You
refresh my ass.
I'm refreshing your ass. I don't know why.
I'm gonna be very fresh.
Wait, talk for me.
Hello, I'm talking.
No, it looks fine, right?
I am talking. Well, actually,
yeah, it
is like slightly.
I don't know, I mean, this is what happens when you do audio and video on different things, folks. But what do you want me to say? I mean, you know, this is part of the fun of the stream. All right.
Yeah.
Fewer than Jake is better.
I was gonna say,
you, Jake.
What year did you get into stuff?
I mean, it would have been like, you know, 2003, 2004.
So I'm old.
Yeah.
which sucks. But 98 was so big.
Right.
98 was like, that was when ska like really exploded. That's when I got super into it.
Yes.
I was like 12 years old. Right?
I feel 13. Like, and that was a time where I feel like it had the most sort of like mainstream cred in a way that already by 2003 it was sort of like, all right, Digimon the movie 2000 had Less Than Jake in it. That is so fucking funny. That's awesome.
The movie Good Burger. That also had Less Than Jake, and I think also Real Big Fish in it.
That's so sick. There was a great
Keenan and Kel movie Good Burger.
God, ska had a moment, man. Ska had a real moment. Shit.
The Bosstones were performed in the movie Clueless, right?
Right.
They go to a Bosstones concert.
You know,
Paul
and like
Rudd looks the same as he does today in it.
And the movie Swingers too, which is a different thing, but is it the Cherry Poppin' Daddies that perform at the end of Swingers? Maybe it is.
That's got to be the worst band name on earth, right?
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
It's just the worst.
It's like if you want people to hate ska, that would be a good way. So like, get this: one of the bands that people associate with it are the Cherry Popping Daddies. You know, it's not good. It's not good.
It's so bad. Actually, I went down a Squirrel Nut Zippers rabbit hole the other day.
Sure, I've listened to a fair amount of Squirrel Nut Zippers. Yeah.
So, long story short, with them, like the person who wrote like their 2 big hits, and the big one being Hell, they'd quit the band at some point, and then they had like some legal fights, and then they were hoping to get in on the most recent reunion, but like wasn't even asked, and they were just sad about it. I just read like a Medium article they wrote about it. I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
it.
You hope at one point these guys will just be like, well, you know, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like everyone will be hyped that we're all together. No one will care, you know? Yeah. All right, we got some calls coming in. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit. Dunkachino, you're on the air. Welcome, Dunkachino.
Thank you, guys. How's it going?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, no. So I am a massive ska fan.
Yo!
I was just at Kill Lincoln at the Comet Ping Pong the other night.
Let's go.
Wow.
Wonderful. Gotta love ska. And, you know, I'm also originally from Long Island.
Oh, let's go.
Wow.
So I don't really associate Long Island with ska.
It had its moment. But I think that moment came and went from like 98 until like 2002.
Hard, you know, maybe not the nicest thing to say. I think I am much younger than you guys. So
Sure.
It's like the only real ska I can think of Long Island are, the Jeff Projects and like The Fad with Jimmy Doyle, maybe.
Yes, dude.
Like
Good
that's
friends of mine.
That's really like the only thing I could think of there. And it's just something that I got into ska maybe like 10 years ago. My cousin took me to Skanksgiving at the Starland Ballroom.
Yup.
Man. Let's go.
So that was really good. But no, I'm really into it, dude. The DC Baltimore ska scene's like really fun, and like all the shows are just a complete blast.
It exists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's news to me, Dunkachino, that even exists, because I don't really think it did in like to a notable way, at least that I was aware of when I was living there.
It's like I don't know, but I don't. I'm not like in it, but I was gonna say it's been really strong in the last few years. And I feel like Kill Lincoln's one of those bands. I think
that's it. That guy from Kill Lincoln runs a record. He runs a label, Bad Time Records.
Yeah, Bad Time.
And it's just, you know, they're doing really cool stuff. They're putting out stuff that just wouldn't, you know, normally get released. I mean,
cool.
It's them and Asian Man Records out of Oakland, Mike Park's label.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that label. Stuff. Yeah. That's been around for a long time, I feel like, right?
I mean, if I'm associating one geographic area with ska, I'm saying it's probably the Bay Area. Like there's so much there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, where like Operation Ivy was from, who kind of
absolutely
popularized it here.
But no, I think it's great. I mean, all the underground stuff, like we're talking about the OCs. Like, I mean, if the people that like ska are probably also gonna like weird shit, like that last OCs album. This is something I brought up. I think when Libby was on, I mentioned something called Egg Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of people were like, what the fuck's that? That last OCs album was Egg Punk. That was, you know, some people call that stuff Devo core. It's just like lo-fi synth punk. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I love that rock.
That's great. Yeah. Like the weird sub-genres of music like that and ska, like no one else is listening to. It's like, maybe it's like a poser thing. But yeah, I like listening to that shit. Like I like, you know, listening to weird underground stuff that no one's ever heard of before. And, you know, the ska stuff is there. Like there was a band that was supposed to play with Kill Lincoln on Sunday that got denied entry at the border. They're coming from fucking England, so I mean, it was a huge threat for us. But like, that would have been cool to really see that band. Like, they were getting flown over for a couple shows. It's like, where else are you gonna see something like that? It's wonderful. And like,
yeah. I mean, I think it really speaks to something that I have also felt, and maybe it's also because I'm getting older, but I do feel like notably a difference between like that I can see between like millennials and Gen Z is that like Gen Z doesn't really care about music genre like hegemony and like tier ranking in the same way that like I still feel like was very much in full swing throughout high school into college for me. Like there's just enough people that like the weird thing you like that it's so easy to find other people in person that do that, right? Like have you found that's true, Dunkachino? I assume you're Gen Z if you're younger than me.
I'm on that border, whatever that border is, like 96 or whatever. But But yeah, no, absolutely. And like they tried a couple years ago, like Kill Lincoln tried to tour with a hyper ska band, try to like get in on whatever 100 Gex are doing. And that's not really there. I don't think that's gonna get developed. But like there's definitely new sounds coming out of ska right now. There's new stuff going on. There's new voices being heard there. Like there's new influences that are just mozzarella-stick music. I think it's really great. That's
honestly, please post that in the Discord then, Dunkachino, because this is new. This is truly news to me. A sort of lap ska head from, you know, of a million. It's like I want to know about this stuff.
So a band that's been around for a minute, and like my bands used to play with all the time. But I've been seeing them doing so well lately, and it warms my heart because I absolutely love them. But We Are the Union.
I love We Are the Union. I just saw them a couple weeks ago.
Good. Hell yeah. I love it so much. We've been playing shit. We played with Watu all the time in like late 2000s.
So We Are the Union's probably best known by people watching this right now.
Mm-hmm.
From that Guys episode when Brian found that like Nazi pups heck off or something like that. Some of it is pretty cringe. Like there is like a lot of like they toured with blanking on they toured with they did a tour with Eve Six and like Jake Flores. It's like I'm not going. Maybe that's not something I need to check out.
Sure. It's online, but that's
very.
But there's like Jer from Ska2 Networks and We Are the Union. He's insane.
I think Jer has done a lot to like rebuild. Where like I think Jer is responsible for a lot of ska's like resurgence.
Oh yeah,
which I know like. So Jer was doing a lot of covers of songs on YouTube, like ska covers, and doing every instrument. I don't know if you ever caught any of those, Luke.
I have seen those. Yes.
They got super popular.
Yeah.
And, like, Jer's also in ska bands. And yeah, I genuinely think that they are responsible for a lot of like ska's comeback and popularity.
Does he run that thing that's literally called like Ska2 Network?
That's right.
Ska2 Network.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Yes. Definitely I've seen that. Yeah. It's that guy. Cool.
They did a Ska Goes Emo tape. It was like they did it was a Counterintuitive Records maybe or something like that. And they covered like 2 beers in by Free Throw, and it's just like, oh, that's awesome. Like the whole thing, really cool. Everything is great. Like it's a very positive genre. Brian had a lot of trouble on the episode of Guys finding the criticism that he would normally find, because people recognize that like, yeah, this is what it is. This isn't going to be top 40. Like no one has any aspirations that it's going to be top 40. We're having our fun and our own little thing. And if you want to join the circle, join the circle. But if you don't want to join the circle, don't join the circle. There's not really that, no one's really hating or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It's like, I feel like this is going to sound almost insulting, but I swear I don't mean it but like no one's doing it to be cool. And I think that's what makes it so cool.
No. It's like everyone knows that it was sort of the like punchline music of like, I mean, it was. And I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to also talk about it, because it's something that I love. But as we both said up top, there was a time in our lives, Justin, where we had to go, haha, I don't like it either. I don't want to listen. I listen to punk. That's cool. Haha.
I feel like every ska fan, at least every ska fan like around our age, has to go through their trajectory of like, I love this shit.
Yes.
I'm a little embarrassed by this shit. And then you get a little older and you're like, nah, I still love this shit.
Yeah, totally.
I think it just comes full circle.
For me, I think hitting my late 20s and early 30s has been about like, oh, I actually never stopped liking all the stuff I liked, and now I'm just back to openly liking it again, and it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dunkachito. Well, thank you for calling in. Oh, really quick, Dunkachito, why are the OCs not going to come back to the DMV? I'm curious about that.
Oh, so I heard the story from someone that books shows here, and it pretty much just boils down to John Dwyer got into a fight with someone that ran a venue like a decade ago, and just says like, oh, I'm never going back to DC or Baltimore again. Fuck that.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome.
OCs is clearly on like a schedule. They have an album every 12 months. They tour the exact same venues.
Yeah.
And DC, it's out. The last ticket to Disney World, you're gone. No one's coming in.
You canceled. All right. Well, thank you, Dunkachino. Take care.
Pick it up.
There you go. All right, let's just keep moving. We got a lineup tonight. The ska's making the people go fucking crazy, Justin. So let's get into it.
People love ska.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Hello, Peasant Mindset. You're on the air.
Heyo.
Wait for him to. You there? Hello. Peasant Mindset. We can't hear you. If you're talking, we can't hear you. You can't hear him either, right, Justin? It's not just my
No, I can't.
All right. Well, we'll let them sort this
chilling.
Shit out. Peasant Mindset, you're on, bro. Ha 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 ha. Man, this is like really getting me excited to want to also like explore the ska that's out there. Peasant Mindset, we don't hear you, brother. We don't hear you. I don't think your mic's working. Hold on, I'll toss you out and then toss you back in. Peasant Mindset, are you there? They canceled him. This is in hardcore lineup. Word. Hardcore. Wait, HC is hardcore, right?
Yeah. Where is that? Oh, in Baltimore. I literally just, Baltimore. I don't think is that far from me.
No.
But I love Drain. Terror's cool. I love Endant. Angel Dust is cool. And Twitching Tongues I need to listen to.
Yeah, Baltimore's like gotta be less than 2 hours from you.
Yeah. I think DC's like an hour 30. So
yeah, and then Baltimore with no traffic is like 30 away, which is always so crazy.
Oh yeah.
DC hardcore. I mean, that stuff I listen to a lot. Like I listen to a lot of Fugazi and like
dude,
and like all those bands, just because you're like, I think also the place that you get up to. You'll try again. Okay. The place you get into, like the music that's cool from where you're from. You're like, yeah, I rep that shit. Like
yeah, hell yeah. Because you're from DC area, right?
Yeah. I grew up in the district. Yeah. So yeah, Fugazi's big. Why can't
you ever get into Q and Not You?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they're such a good DC band. They were like a Discord Records band. I would call them like the first kind of dancey punk band, like early 2000s, maybe like late 90s, but super fucking good. That's my recommendation of the night.
I'll check them out. All right, we'll try Peasant again, and then Jacob, I see you're in there as well, but I want to give it to some new voices. All right, Peasant, you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Hey,
incredible! You figured it out. Welcome to the program.
So I'm representing the ska newbie. I did grow up, just hearing some ska here and there, but it's mainly the Aquabats.
Sure,
and not their later stuff.
But the Aquabats are, listen, also no hate to that. I love the Aquabats. I think it makes sense that they were like, nope, we do sort of make music for children and we're going to lean into that and then make $1 billion from Yo Gabba Gabba. Like, honestly, there's worse things that could happen to a ska band than that. As I said at Discord today, I would go see, if somebody was like, do you want to go to the Aquabats tonight? I would go, of course I do. Of course I do.
Yeah. You're going to always have a good time.
Yeah. But please go ahead.
Their later albums, I do agree that even they describe them as like they're more whatever, like art rock or whatever, like the Pool Party. That's definitely not like ska, but I'm not too hard on that. But also wanted to bring up, was it Rosenstock? Jeff Rosenstock, his ska album. That really opened my eye again to like, holy shit, I want more of this. Even though he's doing his own thing too. But there's a lot of ska, and I want to go back to like find more ska. So
yeah, hell yeah. Have you heard Jeff's old ska band, The Arrogant Sons of Bitches?
No.
Listen to the record Get Warmer. It's like very of the time, but like I think that's such a good ska record to listen to.
Wait. Arrogant Sons
Ska
of Bitches.
Dreams. That's what it's called.
Arrogant
From
Sons of
No
Bitches.
Dreams.
Who is in that?
Jeff Rosenstock.
Oh, okay.
He's the singer.
Okay. I feel like
ASOB.
I feel like
those are my boys. Love those boys.
Yeah, dude. I listen to a lot. I had this album. Yes, Bomb the Music Industry. Yes. I had this album that was a lot of like that era because it was like this third wave stuff. I believe sort of like compilation.
Bomb was Bomb was a big part of my life, just in that my band shared a guitarist with them, my buddy Tom.
Wow, cool.
Who was also in the Fad, Don Caccino. Tom was the guitarist for the Fad. But so we would play with Bomb constantly.
Wow.
Like any good show my band played was thanks to Bomb. It's also where I met Dave there.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
He also did the music, Jeff Rosenstock, for the Cartoon Network show Craig of the Creek.
Craig of the Creek. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So I don't know too much about this, so I don't have like a good story that goes with it. But I know that a lot of my friends are friends with like the Yo Gabba Gabba people. And I know it led at the very least to one of my friends, a different Dave than the one in chat, but one of my friends, Dave, got to play trombone at their live show in New York.
Wow. Well,
and he said that it made him like super dad because he's also a dad.
If I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure Yo Gabba Gabba was started at least by one of the Aquabats guys.
It was the main Aquabat.
Involved in the production.
It is.
Wasn't it also made by Homestar Runner people? Aren't they involved in that in some way?
All right, let's see. Yes.
I might be mixing wires.
He is perhaps best recognized. It's Christian Richard Jacobs, best recognized as the co-creator of the award-winning Nick series Yo Gabba Gabba. under the stage persona of the MC Bat Commander, he's also known as the lead singer of the Aquabats. So it's quite literally, God, that's so, yeah. I mean, it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Like, I think that's such a sick thing as you get older and then you have this music that is like, okay, well, this isn't the hot thing, but like to transition it into something where you're like, oh man, we just like are set now because we've like gotten into this like other side industry, you know? It's very cool. It's very cool.
It is super cool.
Peasant Mindset, have you listened to Streetlight Manifesto?
I mean, so those bands were definitely in my friend group, but never like sought them out. I think the other genres around reggae, around ska were just more appealing to me at the time, and like probably from certain things you talked about of like, yeah, it's a little cringy maybe, or I didn't like the checker pattern or whatever, so didn't quite get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, when I was going through ska history earlier, I should have said my checkered past.
That is good.
I fucked up.
I mean, that's really good, Justin.
I think you did. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, we can Justin say perfect. It now, and I'll work it into the record. So I'll work it in.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about my checkered past.
Good.
Oh wow, that's good.
That's and then you could cut that in.
That's easy to cut in. That's easy to cut in. All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, Peasant Mindset, do you have anything else you'd like to say about ska before we let you go?
No. Pick it up.
Pick it up. Pick it up. That's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up. Midass 95. Can someone follow me, please? It's really I've been getting a lot of first time chats where it's like, what the name is so crazy. You know what I mean? Like why that? I don't know. Anyway, Hyperska Bad Time put out an album called My Checkered Future. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Sorry, I'm reading back on chat. I'm catching up now.
No. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I had something else I want to say. Man, yeah, Bomb the Music Industry. I'm trying to... what was that album? Ska's Not Dead. Specifically... Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Ska's Not Dead. I believe it was that Volume 2.
That was an Asbestos Records comp? Is it?
Hold on.
I need to know. My ska trivia.
Okay. All right. Ska's Not Dead. I know Bomb the Music Industry was on there. Hold on. I'm going to find this album.
Yeah.
Bomb the Music. No, it's called Slackers. Yeah, it's called Ska Is Dead.
Ska Is Dead.
Ska Is Dead, I think.
It sounds familiar.
Is dead.
It's a thing I remember.
Yes, here it is. Here's literally this. I had this record and I listened to it so much, and it was okay. So we got Big D and the Kids Table.
Oh yeah.
The Toasters, the Pie Tasters, the Flatliners.
Oh, it's Asian Man Records.
Yeah. That's how I know them. Yeah. Streetlight, Catch-22, also Streetlight related. Bomb the Music Industry, Mustard Plug. I mean, a lot of bands I listened to a lot because it was like it was a very big album for me because it was like, oh wow, this at a time where I was like, wow, this is a bunch of bands I've never heard of before, you know?
Yeah.
God.
That rocks.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Asian Man Records, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
God. A fun fact I like to to tell is that I don't know him super well, but like a friend of a friend is from Mustard Plug.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I was doing a Mario Kart stream. I think it was during lockdown. And I was just inviting friends to play Mario Kart, and they were inviting friends. And I was sitting there being like, damn, like, it's just me and a bunch of guys from ska bands playing Mario Kart on Twitch. It's actually kind of owns. It's the big ska night.
Time is a flat circle. That is all that we want in the end, is to play Mario Kart against our ska heroes. Yeah.
That's all you want.
throw it in the music thing. I'm a little worried, nervous about playing full stop, just like ska music from that's DMCA'd, because it just feels like that is the one thing that would get me in trouble. But please put in there because I want it for later. All right, we got another call coming in.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Jacob, you're on the line.
Hey, man. How you doing?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. So Keys Be Nights was like the one real ska record that I owned.
Uh-huh.
At 22. I loved it. I mean, it went well with my love for Ben Folds, because it's like kind of like sad boy music, like problematic friend zone guy music.
Sure.
But in my hometown, there was a ska / pop punk band called Haji and the Turbans. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my friends were musicians. I didn't often I mean, I never played with any of them. I'm not a musician, but I would do artwork for them. So I did one of their flyers, and then my good friends got in kind of more like a metal band, and there was just some like local beef between the bands.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was just some bullshit that I stayed out of. But then Haji and the Turbans, their album came out, their CD that they were, that there was a local record label called Permanent Records that put it out.
Mm-hmm.
And the bass player from Haji and the Turbans found out that their CD had gotten on Napster. This was that era.
Damn.
Okay.
So they knew I had a computer.
Uh-huh.
They knew I would put things on Napster, but they specifically asked us not to do it, so I did not. But he just held a big grudge against me because I was friends with these other guys, and just, I mean, it was a shame, because it's just like a bunch of dumb kids who should just be getting together
and having a nice time. It is funny to imagine, like, it's like I really remember that era where if you had a computer and knew how to use it well, it was like, well, you must have done it because I don't know how to use the computer and you do. Like, that is a very that's a very
you're taking money out of my pockets. This local band CD was going to make millions of dollars, and now
that's true.
We're in league with Lars Ulrich or whatever.
Right. I mean, that is an interesting question. Now, Haji and the Turbans, you can't really call a band that today, can you?
No, but it was a Johnny Quest reference.
Yes, I figured that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my friends, my close friends were in a band called Kevin Wang and the Skin Flutes.
Right. Well,
and,
that's you still can call a band that still, I believe. Right? Oh my God, what? Dude.
Or he doesn't either.
I dropped off. Are you guys still there?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Man, my internet keeps going out. I don't know what. Okay, here we go. All right, we're back. This keeps happening to me. My internet bloops out for like 10 seconds. I think it's because of this solar storm. I don't know if that's still happening.
It's that damn solar storm, I bet.
It's that damn solar storm.
Yeah. Forgot about the solar storm.
You could see the northern lights. I didn't see them. Did you?
So I'll tell you.
Huh.
That's a big bucket list item for me. Like, I want to see the northern lights sometime before I die. I didn't realize it was that night. And I was actually at a show. It was like the first show I've been to in like a year. But I was at a show, and when I got out, people were like, "Holy shit, did you look up?" And I was like, "No, man, I was in a show."
Man, I said the same thing. Someone was talking about it at like a breakfast place the next day, and I was like, "What? What are you?" I thought it was like old people like being weird. Like I didn't understand what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, really quick. You could see me the whole time that happened. Chat, is that true? Because
I did refresh the stream, and I saw you sitting there with a black screen, like you sitting next to me in a black. Like,
whoa, dude. Yeah.
The thing is, if it did a hiccup, it probably wasn't enough to knock the stream off, but it was enough to knock like Discord out.
It might be something with the Ethernet cord from my first computer because my stream computer then maybe didn't go down. Whatever, not important. You did, yeah. Damn, that's crazy. All right, well, Jacob, thank you for calling in. That's a good story about the early internet. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, and Jacob Y. Edwards Art on Instagram.
Up. That's what's up.
And I'm working on my streaming equipment, boys.
Yep, Jacob's entering the hallowed halls of live streamer. One of the most powerful things you can be on planet Earth. Isn't that right, Justin?
That is true. That is 100% true.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for having me. Thanks
Take
for
care, dude.
Chat.
Thank you.
All right, we got Tannum in. Believe this is Tannum.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, finally, we're gonna get to the bottom of a real ska head here. Tannum.
Oh, I'm the expert, the sub expert now.
Yeah, you're the expert.
My ska expert.
I actually had an interesting question that I don't know that I've ever spoken to Justin about.
Mm-hmm.
I love ska, but the things I like most in the genre, like the bands that have stuck with me the longest, are the ones that like aren't really ska, but everyone doesn't know what to call them, so they like get lumped in there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What's the weirdest thing that you've heard called ska with a straight face?
Ooh,
interesting.
Because like I know you've riffed with Apollo and called the Eagles ska, but that's
I have called the Eagles ska. I have. Hotel California is like the first ska song.
I'm gonna call I'm gonna call the band Chicago ska simply because there's horns.
Yeah,
I think you should be able to do that.
Saturday in the Park is a ska song.
Yeah, it's it's a slow jam you can skank to.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. Who are your favorite? Man. But Tim or Dave, who are these? Who comes to mind for you? Like who are you thinking when you ask this?
For me, it's a really simple answer. It's a band called the World Inferno Friendship Society.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to actually describe them is like circus punk or klezmer punk. But like you said with Chicago, it's a band that's got like 100 fucking members and horns, and so ska. Everyone calls it ska.
Yeah,
I will say I've definitely heard 311 referred to as a ska band.
Right.
And they definitely have some ska elements, but it is funny to call 311 a ska band.
It's also like funny to call Sublime a ska band. You know, it's like so to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, real interesting. You disagree, Justin. I could tell by the tone of your voice.
A little bit.
Really? I think of them more as like pop or like punk, like ska. I guess ska punk, sure. But not all of their, so many of their songs, their big songs, don't feel like ska to me at all, you know?
So here's the thing. If you sat me down and said, I'm going to play you a 311 song and a Sublime song,
right,
which one do you think is going to have the horns in it? Right. I'm taking Sublime every time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
That's true. No horns in 11. Just chill grooves.
Just chill grooves. Just reggae. Yeah, sure. Sublime definitely dances more on the reggae. It's close. I mean, hey, I don't care. TV show The After Party, the first season has a big ska element. I don't know the show The After Party. Interesting.
I'm not familiar. Although when I try to think of ska on TV shows, all I can think about is the show Delocated.
Oh my God, yes.
The ska mitzvah.
That show was like, I would catch glimpses and pieces of it, but I never like was able to like find it and watch it.
I think it's so worth just sitting through and barreling through it.
Yeah.
I want to say the seasons are probably like an hour and 30 minutes tops. I think there's only two.
Yeah, it's John Glazer.
And it's a complete fever dream the whole way.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to think like what I find like it. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't happen so much with ska, but like I don't know. It made me think of this. How did everyone have? Is this a universal experience that if you're into something like ska, and people could tell that you're someone who enjoys ska, you would get people in high school who would be like, yeah, rock and roller, yeah, heavy metal, yes.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, whoa, no, you've got it all wrong.
Right.
And then you look like a snob.
You get lumped into everything because it's like you're not listening to. It's like that gets in the same way that, like, yeah, you listen to rap music, but you might listen to like a billion different types that are not related at all, or like country music because it's like, yeah, that's rock. All right. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
I used to get that a lot.
I was just gonna say I spent a lot of time getting lumped in with the metalheads as like a punk kid,
right?
Yes.
And like also having them make fun of the music that I listen to, and then a decade later seeing them post about bands that I told them about, like they had just discovered them, and being like, I was right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean and it's like no, and then you're like a bunch of kids who are way more socially adjusted at that age than you are like, yeah, I don't know, you guys all like the same shit, and you're sitting there going like, no, it's all different. It's different. I'm telling you. No.
I'm special.
That was always me.
Yeah, I mean totally. Wait, so Dave, you played in ska bands as well?
No. I have no musical capabilities. I just like the music.
You like music.
Just a ska enjoyer.
And then like 90% of my friends ended up being in ska bands, and like I'd be the one who had access to a van that could drive for like 2 weeks in the summer for a quote unquote tour.
So I always wonder if that's like I guess it's unique probably to just like any dense population, but like I always wonder if it was a Long Island thing that like everyone I knew was in bands or related to bands in some way, right? Was that
I mean, like, it
that might just be because I was into music.
Yeah.
You know,
like, because I knew people in the DC area and up in Boston and stuff that were very much the same way. So I think it was just kind of like we found it because we wanted to find it, you know?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it is just a thing where the music kids find each other truly.
Yeah, because really, like when I think about it, I talk to exactly one person I actually went to high school with still.
Same.
But I still talk to like probably 50 people I met around my high school years, and like all of them through music.
Yeah.
Well, I the funniest one to me is like another of Justin's mods, Super Jazz. Our fathers worked together for like 20 years before he and I met.
Whoa.
And then we met at a ska show and became friends, like totally outside of that context.
Whoa.
And like then found out later that our parents had been working together for 20 years. Like
that is wild. That's deep Super Jazz, and you.
That's crazy.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I knew that deep down. I just hadn't heard it in a long time.
It would have been at an old fashioned Oyster Crackers and probably Fad show.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you think that your dad and his dad like liked working together?
I mean, on a personal level, I don't know, but I know that they both love their jobs.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
well, you know what? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I've heard that. I've heard that.
Amen, brother.
Amen. It would be,
That's why
it'd be
I'm
tough to find
my
out.
Damn ass off. I'm playing.
Huh?
I like streaming. I said I'm working my damn ass off, as if to imply I hate streaming. You know.
I do like a world where two people become friends and then they learn their dads hate each other as adults. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they're rivals.
They fucking hate each other.
That would have been
like,
cool.
You're friends with that guy? That guy's dad is a fucking shit. He got a promotion over me 20 years ago. That'd be
I don't
cool.
want you ever talking to him again.
Saying that to my grown adult son. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Go Off King Raiders.
Go Off King.
All right. Well, Dave, thank you for
up?
calling in. We're going to get to this segment now.
Thank you, Dave.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Great to see you.
Welcome, Raiders. This is a perfect time. This is really a perfect time to do this segment. Lorcan, welcome back. 4 months. Alfonso Monzo sends his regards. I don't know what the fuck that means. Probably it's Stupid crap. Oh, I saw it's supposed to curse. All right, everybody. Okay, Justin is here tonight. You know him. You love him. We're talking ska, folks. Tonight's topic is ska. If you have thoughts about ska, questions, concerns, stories to share, please join the Discord and basically get in the call waiting room and we'll throw you on the line. But before that, we do have a very important segment. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this segment. And I'm very excited to show the segment Worm. Thank you, Jacob.
Ooh, the segment Worm.
There's segment Worm by Jacob. Thank you. Nice. Streetlight Manifesto is heroin music. Well, I strongly disagree with that. Now, what I'd like to present today is a list of ways that I think that we can make ska and no ska. Well, actually, if you hate ska, try and enter in the battleground of ideas with me and Justin, because your ass is gonna get fucking destroyed. Your ass is gonna get destroyed. But tonight we're talking about first how to make ska relevant again. Thank you, Cash Gordon. And I just try to go sort of, Justin, get your gut reaction to. Do we think this is possible? Do we think this is going to happen? Do we think this could revitalize this genre we love so much? And really, I'm talking about bringing in. I want to hear Real Big Fish on the radio yesterday. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you there.
Start with the fashion and set the idea. Now that's an actually good idea, because the first one I've got is no horns. Cut the horns out entirely. You know, it's going to be tough. But
yeah, it's funny you say that. So just a quick anecdote from the old ska record label days. One of our bands was being interviewed by Drive Through Records, who were like the big emo record label of the day. And we're essentially told, we will sign you if you drop your horns.
Damn.
Because the horns were not popular.
Yeah. I mean, that really.
So you're onto something here.
Because then, I mean, if ska without horns, well, honey, then you're just doing pop punk, aren't you? I mean, really, when it comes down to it. Yeah. I'm so bored by the Real Big Fish albums, but I've seen them live 4 times, and we'll see them every time they're in town. That's a real ska fan right there, folks. That is a real ska fan. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't listen to the music, but if someone came to my house, knocked on my door, stranger, said, "Hey, I've got tickets to see Real Big Fish tonight. Do you want to go?" I'd be like, yeah, I do. I do want to go. I would love to go to that tonight, you know?
Yeah.
That's what's up. I don't think I've listened to ska intentionally, but I like reggae and dub stuff. Well, I really want to make this very clear. We are talking about a very specific type of American ska, mostly made by white boys that look like Justin and I at different ages throughout our life from the last 20 to 30 years. Very clearly.
Earlier when I asked you what the earliest ska band you were going to listen to, it was just my way to interject that I feel like the Specials are the best ska band of all time.
Of course. Yes.
That's my ska wisdom of the day.
I agree with that. Third wave, basically. Yes, Jelly D. We got some real heads. How am I not surprised that there's a lot of people that watch all of these streams? I mean, notably because you have friends that watch it, but I'm like the hand-holding club of our ages, both our ages, being on this website, it all tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it all really
it
tracks. Yeah.
It all, I don't know, without trying to sound too up my own ass over the stream and stuff. I feel like it's all DIY shit at the end of the day, right?
I agree. Exactly. It is all DIY.
It's all shit. It's all like DIY. It's all art adjacent, or if not art itself, you know, makes sense.
Doing your own thing, starting your own thing, liking something off the beaten trail, being interested in stuff. Yeah, of course.
Just a little quirky.
All right, number 2. Forcibly divorce Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. I think if we're going to get ska going again, we've got to bring the queen of ska back to her throne and away from the horrible clutches of the awful Blake Shelton. Let's get rid of this.
We got to get her back with that guy from Bush.
Yes, exactly. Get rid of Blake. Bye, Blake. You canceled. When I think of Blake Shelton, I think about how when I was in Las Vegas, there was a Blake Shelton slot machine, and the grand prize was a signed Blake Shelton guitar, and I was like, damn, how pissed would you be if you're me and you won that and you're like, I wanted fucking money. I don't want this piece of shit.
The payout below that's like $50,000 and you're saying what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, It's like, dang, they really got me. Yeah. Anyway, Gwen Stefani, I've heard at Coachella. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if you have, Justin. Gave like an incredible set with No Doubt. Like I heard it was awesome. I've people who were there were like, it was so sick, so sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
A thing I always heard about No Doubt is that they were very good at performing. Like they never phoned it in.
Yes, I've also heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think even when they perform without, or they like without, what's going on with No Doubt? Were they doing Fleetwood Mac style wife swapping? I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
Can't speak to that. All right.
Yeah.
Next one. All horns. So this is sort of a riff on the last one, which is we get rid of the guitar, we get rid of the bass, we get rid of the drums, and we get rid of the singing, really, and we go all horns.
Yeah. Just full brass.
Yeah. And I even did this myself. It's not big band. It's not big band. It's all horns. They're doing all this, and the horns are doing the guitar, and they're going like they're doing the upstrokes, but they're doing it on.
I think that could be cool. Yeah. You get someone like No, I'm kind of with you there. I think that could work.
Yeah, I think this would be cool. It's a marching band with no drums, almost, but it's a ska band with all horns.
So like you've got like. Yeah, you've got someone with like a big a big bass saxophone, and they're like just the kick drum of a drum set.
Yeah, and they're going. We'll be honest with ourselves. Just a lot of it is going to sound like.
No, absolutely. That's going to be so much of it.
Yeah. Star Wars Cantina Band. Okay, well, that's a little bit closer. Unfortunately, I do think that might be. Maybe that's what jizz music is all.
Well, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but like they retconned jizz. You see that?
Really?
Yeah, they retconned it. It's no longer jizz music.
I'll grow up.
Right?
They can try all they want to make it. They're called the Jizz Whalers. Thank you, Bob Marley.
Yeah, it was the Galactic Jizz Whalers.
God, man, I can't believe that. You know what's so funny is I do think we're in this world where like it is just going to be. Everyone who knows it's going to be called. It's called jizz. It's going to call it jizz, no matter what Disney says. You know.
Yeah. Fucking Disney cowards.
They're cowards. They won't let us. First, look at what they've taken from us, folks. Jizz music. All right.
They took jizz from us.
Number 5. Did I miss one? Nope. I think I just named them. Get Gen Z into it with Emma Chamberlain. Now, Justin, I don't know who Emma Chamberlain is. Really.
I was just about to ask you, who is this?
You probably wouldn't either. I don't really know too much about Emma Chamberlain, but when I looked up top Gen Z celebs, Emma Chamberlain came up as number 1. I'm seeing a lot of who's in the chat too. Well, sorry, folks. This is exactly why Sky isn't popular, because y'all don't know who Emma Chamberlain is.
This is where if we had Chiblee, we'd be an action man. Chibley's my my source for Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Chiblee? Oh, right. Chiblee's a bit younger than you.
26.
Yeah. Met Gala type person.
Allegedly
26. Yeah, I've had the rare treat of seeing the boy's face in real life at the Streamer Awards.
Yeah. I will say
he has the skin of a 26-year-old, huh?
He's such a sweet boy. I love Chiblee. But afterwards, it was funny because I was like, "How are the Streamer Awards?" He was like, "I got to chill with Lou," and I was like, "Oh, that's sick, man." I was like, "How was it?" He was like, "I'm pretty sure it was dope." He was like, "I had like 12 drinks though."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's fair."
I think that we were in the same part where me and Chiblee were both sort of outside just going nuts, and like I had finally we were like DMing on Discord like during the awards, but then finally he found me when I think it was a point in the night where we were both at that point. Because here's the thing they don't tell you about award shows, and I finally understood, like, you know how there's always shit at the Oscars? I mean, literally like the Will Smith thing where people get too drunk, and you're like, why are they getting so drunk? Why? Huh?
And they're just giving it to you, man.
You sit there for 3 hours, you can't go on your phone because it's broadcast, so you just literally, all you can do is drink. There we go. She's done Hot Ones twice. Damn.
What? Damn.
That's crazy.
What is she is she an actress?
Couldn't tell you. A model, influencer. I mean, listen, Justin, this is why this is a YouTuber. Okay.
YouTube. So man, that's crazy. I'll never forget because I've been doing this streaming shit now since fucking 2011.
Yeah.
And like I remember it's probably like 2016ish maybe. It was before I moved. Mm-hmm. But I remember a friend of mine who was a teacher at the time pulling me aside and being like, what do I tell the, like, she's like, every single student I have wants to be a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. What do I tell these kids? And I was like, oh no.
Tell them don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, tell them absolutely fucking not. But like, that's when it dawned on me. I was like, oh, that's what kids want to be now. Like,
yeah. Because you're like,
damn.
oh, I get paid to make videos like the dumb videos I make with my friends, but for real life. It's the number one when it like overshadowed and became the number one thing of like kids say they want to be. It's like their number one career.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. And only guys as lucky as us get to do it, and everything that comes
living the dream.
Yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. What's up, Howell? Welcome. All right.
Oh, Big Hal, what's up?
Ska Channel and GTA 6. Now, I think this one would go. Like, actually, if you just put it in and you didn't say anything and there was a Ska Channel, like, you'd have people like, oh, that's like kind of funny. But you'd get a whole generation of kids who would just be like, I literally like this. I don't know.
They would love the Ska station.
Yeah. Legit would work. Legit would work. This is real. Yeah.
Can I just tell you a crazy GTA story? I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Please.
So they used to, and this is not me trying to sound like a cool guy, but they would invite me out there to play GTA occasionally on stream. Which is insane to me still. Like, I'm not even positive how that happened initially. But they invited me out there right around the time they were setting up their Twitch stream, which like never really took off. But I'm still, if you go to, let me go see, because I've told this story a few times now. Maybe they ended it. If you go to twitch.tv/Rockstar Games, they haven't streamed in years, and it will say they recommend one stream. It's they suggest these streamers. It's only me. So I get people. It used to, like, when they announced the new GTA, I had at least one person an hour join my chat going, GTA news, GTA news, GTA news. And I'll be like, I don't fucking know anything. I don't know anything.
But they assume you're like a dev or something.
Yes. Like, if you go to twitch.tv/Rockstar Games and I'm live, I'm the stream that shows up.
Oh my God. Right. Of course, dude. That is so
it's a curse.
funny. It literally, it is a monkey's paw where you're like, oh, you're like, oh, damn, that's cool. You're like, oh no, that's just awful. Like, that's like all.
There's zero positive that comes of it. I haven't gotten one new person in my stream who's like nice or wants to be there. Not one. Yeah. It is purely a curse. It's amazing.
And it really does look, it's like, okay, well, if he's the only one, I mean, of course, like, he's got to be somehow related. It's not like he's just a random streamer. Why would they just follow one random guy? Welcome, GTA News. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, Colin. It's GTA News. Oh,
it's
my God.
Insane. And I also, as a result, too, I get an endless amount of spam email and Instagram DM specifically from GTA roleplay servers that want to pay me money to promote their roleplay server.
That's so funny.
It's such a stupid life.
Wait,
man.
they want you to do it on your channel because they think they're just like,
assume I'm a GTA guy, like a GTA streamer.
Damn, you should just say yes to all of them, and then
and then just take it and not deliver.
I mean, what are they gonna do? They're a GTA roleplay server. What are they gonna do? Sue you? Are you serious? They're not real. Come on, man. They're not real.
I'm finally done. I'm just gonna accept a ton of money and leave. That's so smart.
Yeah, I mean, what you think that the people running a GTA roleplay server are gonna get their stuff together enough to take legal action against you? I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. GTA, have you done GTA roleplay at all? I'm interested in it, but I have not done it.
Genuinely, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's people who are fine at it, but with my understanding with it, I'm like, most people are either role playing a cop, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, right. I was literally about to say the same. I knew that's what you were going to say.
Or they're just trying their best fucking like ethnic accent. Those are the two GTA RP streamers, man. And I hate. Can I just tell you? I got fucking flown out to a PUBG event, and I was in a little bus full of GTA RP streamers, and I swear to God, the first words out of someone's mouth was like, "People are so sensitive these days," and then they just all went on a back and forth rant to how like. I can't just RP like with that accent. What's wrong with that? And then they would say like really racist things, and I'd be sitting there like, "That's what's fucking wrong with it. What is wrong with you people?"
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I feel like that knowledge is like you saying that. It's like, oh, I actually already knew that without even realizing it. You know what I mean? And then you told me that. I was like, it just sort of became unlocked. It's like, of course, right? Because you either want to, you're literally like, God, wouldn't it be so cool to, you know what my problem with GTA is? I can't be a cop. When I'm playing GTA, I think, I'm sick of killing these guys. I want to be one of them.
I wish I could just enforce some laws here.
Or you're like, or I'm like, or I want to be what my idea of a drug dealer is, living in a white suburb in America. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there's some people, honestly, like, I think like there needs to be a GTA server with people who are funny.
That would be cool.
Is that mean? But like, that would be great.
If it was just like cool. Messing around and then like, yeah, if you could really make it only, yeah. Anyone doing hardcore role play on computer servers is like pretty. It's like 9 out of 10 times it's either going to turn horny or racist. You know, it's like there's a reason they're not letting you in, and it's because of one of those things. Yeah. Okay. I followed a GTA RP streamer who was also a professional drift racer for a while, and his were pretty good, just trying to get a race car together. But everybody he interacted with doing one of those. Sure. Yeah. All right, we got one more. We got one more here.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to ruffle a few feathers, Justin, but I think we've got to say it because it would work. It would work. You know we got to resurrect Bradley Nowell as a zombie. Blah. You know what I'm talking about?
That would do it.
You know what I'm talking about? Sublime with Rome, Sublime without Rome. I don't care who you are. If we could get Bradley to come back from the dead and put him up there and he's singing all the songs like Santeria, I mean, I think it would make the people go crazy, wouldn't it?
I mean, you were just saying you don't really think Sublime's much of a ska band, but
well, I know, but then I thought of this joke earlier today, and I really wanted to Photoshop Bradley Nowell as a zombie.
It's a good zombie Bradley Nowell.
Yeah, look at him. Yeah. I got the little thing on it, you know. I wonder if I could put this on the front page. Well, you know what? Why not? Why not? Man, I have a friend who's like a huge Sublime, a friend of the show who's been on it, Chris Thayer, who has gone down because Garden Grove, where they started, is in LA. I mean, it's South LA. And people go every year on Bradley Nowell's death day and leave flowers for him. Like, it's still like a big pilgrimage. There's still a huge Sublime, it feels wrong to talk about this as this image is up, so I'm going to take it off. It's just interesting. And he sent me a bunch of no, I thought they're from Garden Grove, right? No, I think I'm just thinking about the fact they say I took this trip to Garden Grove, smelled like Lou Dog inside the van, maybe. Anyway,
heard that.
Do you like Sublime? I mean, are you a Sublime?
Honestly, I didn't want to, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here. You're like, oh, I like Sublime a lot. I'm going to be like, I fucking hate Sublime.
Please, this is what. Listen, yes.
I haven't. So I don't know if anyone has a sibling they like didn't get along with or anything like that, or an older sibling. I have an older sister. We didn't get along when I was younger.
Right.
I heard Santeria and What I Got on repeat for like 6 months.
Sure.
And it has made me despise Sublime.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, an older sister, like a little older than you would have been, exactly the prime age. Yeah.
So like, there's certain bands that were ruined for me by that. Sure. And they're like, Sublime's a big one. Blink-182 is a big one.
Sure.
Those are probably the only like 2 big ones, I think.
Yeah.
That shit got so played that I went from, I liked it at a point. I still think there's songs like, I don't know. There's some like faster Sublime songs that I like.
Yeah.
Like they had some good shit.
Also, it is one of those things where it's like those are a little bit the 2 songs also that you still are the only ones you still hear on the radio, you know, where it's like, I like those songs, but they're certainly not my favorite Sublime songs. And like partly it is because you still hear them all, especially living in LA, you can imagine. It's like, you still hear them. Jack 93 Jack FM is still playing it literally every single day. Every single day they're playing it. All right, folks. Well, that was the segment. Thank you for indulging me, Justin. I think these are legitimately, they're all jokes, but if they made a GTA 6 ska station, I legit think that would be crazy.
It would definitely have an impact.
I definitely think
like there's no doubt about
There's no doubt about it. All right, folks. Well, the phone lines are open. We're doing Discord tonight. If you'd have anything to say about it, please write in. Or please call in fifth wave ska would begin. Is there a fourth wave ska?
I don't know if they're calling what's going on right now fourth wave.
Somebody said fifth wave. Have you guys talked about the lady from the Rage Against the Machine ska cover band pissing on that guy's face? I did forget about that. Do you know about that, Justin?
Yo, yes. Yeah. I remember that. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, why did she do that? I wonder. I could never really, because he asked to. I don't really remember.
I think that was I if I'm not mistaken, wasn't their defense like things got a little out of hand?
Yeah.
Like, weren't they very nonchalant about it? She was just like, yeah, things just got a little out of hand, and I had to pee. Yeah.
Do you think? I don't think I could piss in front of that many people.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I'm curious. Like, I want to try. Is that weird?
You wouldn't try, right? Yeah.
No, I want to try.
You want to try.
Yeah. I want to find out if I can or not. I need to know.
I don't think I could. I got to be honest with you. I think if you put hand in my hand, a gun ahead, like Spence the Benz, I think is correct. The lead was the only one that wanted to do it because in the video you can kind of tell they're like, what? Like,
that's fair. Sometimes people, like, I don't know, was she fucked up? Like, was she drunk or anything? I gotta say,
imagine, yes, right?
I had a friend. Quick story. I had a friend, just a very pretty girl who was like also very normal. You wouldn't expect them to do. I'm outside of a bar smoking a cigarette, and she comes out and she goes, "They just fucking threw me out of the bar for pissing at the bar." And I went, "Holy shit, what the fuck were you doing?" She was like, "I was pissing at the bar." And then she starts cracking up. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, how many drinks have you had?" But I like to imagine, like, you know what? I could see her, if she were the singer of a band, she would probably do that.
Yeah. If you're like, you don't, yeah. Wait, so, okay, I guess when you say pissing at the bar, do you mean like, what does that mean? Like,
according to her, there was like a plant at the end of the bar, and she was hovering her ass off the stool and peeing into this potted plant, but like still being at the bar. Yeah.
That's really funny. Welcome in, Raiders from Crucified Scoob. What's up, dog?
What's up, Scoob?
Great to see you in here, folks.
How you doing?
We're talking ska music, folks. We're talking ska. We talking ska. You're talking to two boys that have a lot of love for ska in their hearts.
A couple rude boys.
Or two rude boys. He said it, I didn't. The spittoon that a grown tree for being pissed in. If you have any thoughts about it, we're doing the calls on Discord tonight. Throw yourself in the call waiter room, and I'll throw you in the call. Now, I'm reading an article on the Piss Lady, and she cleaned it up after they left the stage. Well,
that's nice.
You know what? I'll say is that that makes me go, all right, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Because listen, Justin, I'm part of an alt comedy scene. You know how many times I've seen someone make a big fucking mess on a stage and then leave?
I could imagine.
Like
that's fucked up.
It's fucked up, and then it just becomes someone else's problem. You know what I mean?
I will say this is like a ska adjacent discussion because again, like we were talking about, like, I feel like ska people are like a little more willing to be weird people. You know, like unashamedly weird people. But I've seen so many bands. I've never seen a piss band, but I've seen so many puking ska bands. And by that, I mean like at least 3. But you ever see a puking band?
I guess I don't know exactly what you mean by a puking band.
So, like, the one that comes to mind for me is there was this band Treefort. And 2 things about them when I saw them. One was that they had a guy who was like a singer, but also just kind of like a hype man. But he jumped on the bar, ripped his pants off. He had tearaway pants and was just had all his shit in a Speedo, and then doused lighter fluid on it and lit his dick and balls on fire and just started running up and down the bar. But also, same band, they showed up to a show once. It was just the 2 singers and a Casio keyboard, and one of them would play a song on the keyboard while the other chugged milk, and then the guy chugging milk would start playing and puking on the other guy, who would then start puking back on the other. There's a lot of puking. That's what I mean by a puke band.
A puke band. Okay. Yeah. You know what's so crazy is that's even like what you've just described is so much even worse than I was already thinking in my mind.
Bad.
Like I when I was thinking it was just a band where the singer pukes at some point, and I was like, that would be awful. I wouldn't want to see that. But what you
like
described,
a lot of on each other.
Yeah, it's sort
like
of then
puking
you're
into each other's mouths and like
their
back
puke.
and forth.
Yeah, I mean, Justin, that's really one of the most foul things, and that's a ska. It's a ska band.
It was a ska band. It was a ska band. I want to say the singer's name. I want to say the singer's name was Emotron.
You're not doing a lot of that solo. You're not doing the fandom any.
No favors with that one.
No favors with that one. Could you smell the milk puke?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Also, the memory that sticks out in my head is my buddy's ska band played after them. They were called 32 Degrees in Hell. And my friend Neil slid in puke, and then instead of singing words, just started saying, like, I just slipped in puke. I'm going to kill myself. And just started saying dark things into the microphone, real upset, laying on the floor. So that was cool.
Talk about so they didn't clean up the
No, they didn't clean up, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I knew this band called New Jack Shitty, which had some friends in it. And they also, one of the shticks they did was throw up. But they cleaned it up after. So
you got to clean it, folks. And that's a lesson. If you want to be in a DIY art scene, music scene, comedy scene, do your weird crap. That just reminded me, one of the hardest times me and my sketch group ever bobbed is we had this bit where we would blend up. We only did it a couple of times for what I'm about to say is we were called the Shrimp Boys, and we were like, let's make use of that name. We had been making sketches for a while. We were blending up shrimp cocktails in a blender and then feeding it to each other. And it instantly made the plate wherever we were smell so unbelievably bad that people just started talking to each other. Like it wasn't it wasn't even like they were mad about it, but it wasn't even like they were heckling. It was just like, well, if they're gonna do that, we're just gonna fucking talk and like not pay attention to us. And looking back, I think that was correct. That is the correct. They're just like, we're not gonna pay attention to this shit. Bunch of fucking 23-year-olds fucking eating.
And I feel like I would have been, I'd have been the guy in the crowd who was like, man, I really respected that improv group who were like fucking blending shrimp.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's why I come to see coffee.
Sick.
Because you want to laugh, and nothing makes me laugh by smelling the most awful thing in the world and watching three guys not even be able to do it. Like it seems like in these music scenarios you're talking about, it's like they're being punk rock about it. We were like also disgusted about it. Also, our friend David is a vegan and he's in the group, and so we blended up a bunch of tofu hot dogs for him, and he sort of slurped it out of a bag, which didn't make it better. If you can imagine, that didn't make it better. All right, we got a call coming in. Yep, all right, Jake, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Justin. It's Jake.
Hello.
What's up, Jake?
Oh, not much. Just watching the old stream tonight.
Nice. Do you like ska, Jake?
Now, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not really a ska guy.
All right, let's get him out of here then. No, I'm just kidding. I'll bring him back in. It's better when I have the Google voice. You can hear it go boop boop, but you can't tonight. Jake, you're back in. You're back in.
I'm back in. Hello.
What is it you don't like about ska, Jake?
No, I'm not really a ska guy, but I've never really like gotten into it. You know, right. I don't know if it's just like an age thing or if it's just like how I grew up or whatever. That I just wasn't like. Have the opportunity to, listen to it or what have you. But I've not really. It's never really been something that I've been exposed to be honest.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's a little bit like the Grateful Dead to me. Like people were like, "Oh, how did you get into the Dead?" And like this isn't exactly the same, but for me, it's my parents played it for me since the time I was a baby, and then I became an adult and still liked it. Where ska a little bit is also, I found it on LimeWire when I was like 10 years old, and like I always have had a love for it. So it's hard as like one adult to the other to be like, here's how you get into ska, because the answer is I have no idea if that's really that possible unless you have a strong urge to, you know?
Yeah. Like for me, it was like I had met a couple of kids who were a couple years older than me. And I wanted to like them, and I wanted them to like me. Yeah. So like, I was like, I'm gonna like the music they like, and then I like actually liked it.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's
classic.
Was the way it went. Yeah, that's a great way to get impressing older kids. I mean, that's a great way to get into ska. If you were in school in the 2000s, you might have tried to impress an older music kid by getting into ska. That's a new character I'm working on.
It's a good one.
Early 2000s, Jeff Foxworthy, who's also from the early 2000s, but different.
Foxworthy.
The Sky Guy and the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the Checkered Collar Comedy Tour.
That's good.
You can go on. Yeah.
Now I sorry. I'm wondering because ska is that something that like you guys are like maybe you're better adjusted than I am, but is that something that you feel embarrassed a little bit about? Like if you would say to someone else, "Oh, I'm into ska."
Not anymore. Like I think me and Justin both are not actively into it. Also, to be clear, like I think this is kind of boring, and Justin, please weigh in here as well. I think of both of us having a time in our lives where we loved it and having an appreciation for it, but it is funny that I'm getting defensive. I'm like, well, I didn't say we were into it, dude. I didn't say we were into it, dude. So I don't know why you're saying that no, I didn't say me and Justin were into it, dude. We're not into it. We just liked it when we were kids, okay? So maybe I am doing the exact same thing. I don't know.
No, I feel you. There was definitely a point in my life. I never feel like I was too cool for anything.
Right.
But I was a little bit too cool for ska for like a short period of time. And then I like got to stop being that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a country guy. Like I really like country, but I do feel like a little embarrassed to talk about it sometimes because whenever because I mean it's the classic saying, right, that I listen to everything except rap and country.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid thing to say and think, but that is like that's something that like a coworker would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I got a question for you, Jake. Do you like pop country at all? Because I've got a really fond spot. I like all country, but I've got a fond spot for top 40s country. I think it's very fun music to listen to.
Yeah, I love Blake Shelton. I love Florida Georgia Line.
Yep.
All the stars are here.
Here, I gotta hold on. All right, are you being sarcastic or no? I can't tell.
I'm being sarcastic.
God damn it! I knew that you were. I've got a playlist. I've got a playlist on my computer called Pop Country, and it's about 50 songs deep. I mean, I love this stuff.
Really?
You know Thomas Rhett?
I haven't heard of him. Sorry.
You know Toby Keith?
Well, of course I know Toby Keith. How could you not?
Do you know Sam Hunt?
Yeah, I might have heard the name.
You don't know anything, dude. What do you listen to, Jake? What kind of country do you listen to?
I mean, I listen to a lot of older stuff. I listen to a lot of Townes Van Zandt and John Prine and Merle Haggard, Hank Sr. But I also listen to a lot of newer stuff like Sturgill Simpson and Tyler Childers and Sierra Farrell, stuff like that. But I'm not really like a pop country guy. Not that I necessarily am a crusader against it or something. Right. It's not really my thing, but like it's one that exists. Even though sometimes I might I will I might say like fuck Blake Shelton or something and like not really mean it, but just sort of like am annoyed by it.
Don't say that. Not on this stream.
I'm sorry, man. I took it too far, man. I'm really sorry.
Man. You know
I know you love him and his marriage with Gwen
it's
Stefani.
Like it's what it is. I think I should have been clear earlier. I want them to break up because I think they're holding each other back sonically. And if they broke up, they would finally be able to spread those wings and fly. Does that make sense? Orville Peck.
So you like him, but you don't like the marriage. I understand.
Yeah,
that's an interesting take.
It dampens them because it makes them do more of the voice, and I think they both got to get off the voice. I think that's what they're on, right?
I've never seen The Voice.
I don't know.
I'm so out of tune with like everything.
I haven't either. Luke, the Butter Barn track from Fortnite low key is a bop. Now, if it's a Fortnite song, you know I'm loving that. I learned well. You know what it is, guys. I think I learned most of my music from Fortnite radio. So like, just know if it's on there, I probably know about it, and if it isn't, I don't. You know.
So you're So you're a big Toby Keith guy. What are some of your favorite songs? Is it the Angry American one?
Well, no.
Put a boot in your ass.
I know you're trying to walk me into. I know you're trying to walk me into a trap. I really like the song "Beer for My Horses" with Willie Nelson, which is unfortunately is a song that if you listen too close to the lyrics, though, you go, "Oh, this isn't great." But Willie Nelson's on it, so I don't know. It can't be too bad, I guess. He's.
I mean, I was going to try and like own you, but I do also just like actually like Hank Williams Jr.'s music, so I can't really like. guy who's sort of like notoriously like a shithead, but I can't really like defend. I was just sort of just being like annoying, I guess.
Yeah, Katie, my girlfriend's friend in high school, dated Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, Hank 3.
Yeah, so
he's pretty good. He actually has some cool stuff. I mean,
really,
a couple of his album art is kind of very Confederacy looking, which is kind of bad, but it's also art from like 20 years ago, so maybe he's different now.
To be honest,
he does have some cool stuff, to be honest with you.
I brought this up and I was like, wait, how old is Hank 3?
Well, I mean, Hank Jr. is like 60 something. So Hank 3, I think, is in his 30s.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Yes.
Hank Williams 3 is 50?
Okay,
holy
so
fuck,
it might be Hank 4. It might be Hank 4 then, because
okay.
In fact, I'm looking at Hank 4, and it is Hank 4, and I was like,
okay.
And I gotta say, I was like, really, he's popular, and the answer is, no, he's not. Hank 4, Hank 4. Everybody, they got 4 Hanks now. They got awesome. 4 Hanks now. They got 4.
That's
Hanks
too many
now.
Hanks.
Huh?
That's so many Hanks.
That's so many Hanks. We gotta have Hank.
And the messed up thing is, Hank's not even their real. That's their middle name is Hank.
Really?
They got different Hank Jr. is Randall Hank, and the Hank 3 is Shelton Hank. And they're fake Hank.
And Hank 4 doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, so I can't figure out what his real name is.
Are there any like Hank truthers, like a false Hank kind of situation? Or, like,
there's the false Hank.
Yeah.
Which is the one who's like a real like sort of crazy hillbilly? It's Hank 3, right?
It probably Hank 3. I mean, I would imagine he's sort of a guy who like isn't in the spotlight a lot. He sort of is doing his own thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know for sure. No.
Hank 4. We're gonna need a bigger Hank 3. Incoming Hank 4. Hillbilly is
any country.
Hillbilly is a term that's not allowed on Twitch automatically. That's very funny. You don't listen to any country, Justin? All right. Also, no, Jake, we'll let you go, but thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care.
Man, I feel like I always feel like a real picky dickhead with music. Like I'm very peculiar about what I like, but I feel like I like a little bit of everything. But I can't really think of any country I like.
It's tough too if you I mean truly like I've kind of gotten more into it because Katie's family is in like her dad's a steel guitar player, so I just like have listened to a lot more country now as an adult. And I liked it growing up, but I've started to like it way more just because of like sort of that proximity to it. Also because she like grew up listening to so much of it that she like it just is like part of her upbringing because she grew up in Nashville, so it's like yeah. But I don't know. All the Williams musicians. Well, can't read that out loud. Bluegrass and folk stuff is nice. Yeah, I got it, Jacob. Thank you. It's a great joke, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Sturgill Simpson could easily adopt bluegrass music into ska. Man, you know what I was trying to do for the stream tonight is I wanted to do this joke, but I couldn't figure out. I know there's a way to like you can plug in lyrics and it will give you a song, with like some stupid AI website that sounds
like AI
bad.
bullshit.
Yeah. But I was trying to figure out. I wanted to plug in the Kendrick rap against Drake, like the diss track where he's calling him a pedo a bunch, and then make it into a ska song. And I was like, that's how we get kids into ska. You know what I mean? We just play it that. And I unfortunately just couldn't figure it out because it turns out that most of the algorithms, if you can believe it, don't have ska as one of the default options for song types.
You know what? I think it's because ska music is probably too smart.
Yes.
And complex for the AI to even replicate.
Yes,
there's so much going on.
Yes.
I would make I'd be such a good like if ska ever gets sued, I should be ska's defense attorney.
Yeah.
In
defense of ska coming to Netflix. In defense of
ska. Yeah.
I'd like to see a big.
It's so funny too. I like 2 ska bands.
Right.
Like actively in my adult life, but still,
I like same. Yeah. It is one of those things though, but like I know you're kidding, but also like I only really like a couple of ska bands as an adult, but I will defend ska to my dying breath. I will always defend ska if someone comes for it. In Defense of Ska is a good book and podcast. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, let's go. Oh yeah, I've heard of In Defense of Ska.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My 311 superfan cousins I mentioned earlier literally just posted on Instagram about 311. That's awesome.
Fucking owns, man.
That's so sick.
One of my buddies, another one of my friends, Dave. Actually, so the band I talked about who had to play in the puke of the bands before them. My buddy Dave was bassist for them, but he has a 311 tattoo, and he's a big 311 guy. I love him to death. But we had a mutual friend who they hated each other, and my one friend would only refer to him as 311 tattoo. Like he wouldn't call him Dave. He would just call him 311 tattoo.
I really want to know. And if you don't, my impulse right now is ask why did they hate each other?
They were in a band together.
Gotcha. Okay, it's a creative partnership. The easiest way to hate someone. Yeah.
Dude, bands. I remember the first time I came to this lovely city, Richmond, was with one of my bands, and we drove here with another band called Broadcaster, Sweet Boys. They're a 3-piece. All 2 bands in one van. Afterwards, they were just like, man, how do you guys like the whole time, like you could feel the tension in the air, like you guys fucking hate each other. Like, and I'm like, yeah, isn't that normal for bands? They're like, no, it's not. Like, we all like each other.
Yeah,
that's why we're in a band. I was the Switzerland in my band. I got along with everyone.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, you get art will make people go insane at each other.
It really will.
It really will. The maddest I've ever been probably at people in my adult life has been over like comedy stuff, where I'm the fact that you don't agree with me is like so insulting to me that I want to like kind of hurt you physically, Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other cousin has been wow, that's sick. I went to one cousin's wedding in the Northern California mountains last year, and the other cousin was his best man. His reception speech was largely about 311. That's fucking
so good.
Honestly, to love something so much, truly, to love something so much,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I love anything that much. To talk about it in my best man speech, well, maybe the Grateful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think sometimes, like, am I just not a passionate person? like when I see how into things people are, I'm like, man, I wish I loved anything that much.
I guess maybe if you could talk about Kirby, like Nintendo's Kirby lore in my best man speech, like that might be the one place where I go. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It brought the house down, not a dry eye in the house. That's pimp. Yeah.
We're going to become quick best friends, and I'm going to remember at your wedding to talk about
Please,
talk
Justin.
About Kirby. Yep,
Justin, you're going to be my best man. Not only are you coming, you're going to be the damn best man if you aren't careful.
The damn best man. Can you believe this, folks?
You're going to not let me touch the editing software. Yep. That's real, Jacob. I suppose traveling, it's worse when you try and fake a passion than have an entire room full of shit you don't want anymore. Yeah.
Fair.
I'm the type of person where I'm definitely have a problem, and I've always been like this, of getting way too hype on like a hobby and then immediately giving it up when it gets a little bit too hard. Like that's really a flight of fancy, as it were. That is like really something that has happened to me so many times in my life. Over and over again. I bought a piano last year, like a keyboard, because I was like, I think I'm gonna get into piano. Obviously, stopped doing it. Started taking lessons. It got a little hard. Immediately stopped. I mean, it's tough, but you know what? Someone's got to do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've hit the phase in my life where I'm like I know I enjoy music, but for the most part, I'll catch myself being like, okay, I stream. What else do I do? And then I realize I'm like, nothing. And then I'm like, what are hobbies people do? like I gotta find a thing to get into. This is weird.
It is tough. I mean, this is something I think a lot, where I'm like, it is tough that for my entire life my hobby is video games, and now that's somewhat at least tied to my livelihood, and that is weird,
Yeah, because I was always like a video game guy.
Yeah,
and then now it's like I don't really. Like I just game on stream. I don't game off stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I have a tiny bit with y'all, but only a little bit.
JF says the same thing, and that's so interesting because I mean, also to be fair, you do it a lot more than me too. Like I game stream like twice a week versus like you do it every day, so I totally get that. But I don't know. For me, it's like I game on stream, I game off stream, baby. I'm gaming. You know what I mean? I'm going crazy. But I understand like the level you do it at too. It's like separating it must be kind of like good for you.
Yeah. And then there's also the like, if I game off stream at all, I'm just constantly thinking like I can't get out of my head like I should just be streaming this.
Right.
Not even in the sense of like I got to get hours in, but just in the sense of like it would be more fun.
If I'm right, totally. It's like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'll do it with the thing that I
might
like
as
doing
well
too.
stream.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
When I was didn't play the game.
I love y'all talking about all these sweet people. Dan P is such a sweetheart.
Do you have? I respect Luke's various addictions. Thank you, Goat's Head. Yeah, my ass. You know, I'm getting into Gundam building. I'm getting into all sorts of shit, and then giving it up, and then going, why did I like this? Yeah.
I've been going for little walks. Like that's nice.
My Zen addiction is Luke's fault. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me, Vertical Mammal. Come on. That's called ADHD, Luke. I mean, yeah, that's listen, I'm into One Piece cards. I can't do two trading card games. I just held up 3.
Man, I want to fucking like I play Magic, but I only play it at home on Arena because I just feel it's not even an anxiety thing. I just feel weird going to a shop and knowing nobody. You know?
I get that. I am lucky that I have a few in-person friends that are close friends I play with because I've gone to One Piece tournaments by myself and it's like everyone's nice, but it's like it definitely is a thing where okay, this is a social thing for me. I'm doing this because I like my friends and I like the game. I don't think you're missing much. Yeah. Like truly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I feel like I never really get to play much Magic.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really want to play Commander. I've really played no Commander.
Yeah. So I bought a Commander deck. I was with DBJ at MagFest, and I have played Commander one time.
Awesome.
And it was versus DBJ in a hotel room. It's the only game of Commander I've ever played.
You have to bring it to TwitchCon, and so we can play because it was tough because DBJ was just out here, and like we had this plan where I was going to teach them One Piece, and we ended up playing a little the last night. But it is that classic thing where you're like, and of course I understand, like you're on vacation, of course you don't like. We're not going to spend a bunch of time playing Magic or One Piece, you know?
That's fair. That's super.
But
I feel like TwitchCon's the place for it, though. There'll be some.
Certainly.
There's definitely some down. Have you ever gone to TwitchCon?
I did. I went last year. Yeah, certainly. There's downtime.
The Vegas one. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do the Vegas one. That was my skip year.
That was your skip year. Are you a Vegas head at all, Justin?
No. So I've only been to Vegas one time. It was when I was 20 years old for a comedy festival called the Comedy Festival. And part of it was a big variety show that I sat for like the filming of, but part of it was also it was stand-up sets for like 5 days in Vegas.
Whoa.
But I was only 20, so I couldn't gamble.
Damn.
But it was cool.
Were you doing stand-up?
No, I was just watching.
Gotcha.
But I did get to see, I'm trying to think of like some of like the standout stand-up sets, but Jon Stewart doing stand-up was cool to see.
That's cool.
That was like after he had already stopped doing stand-up.
Yeah. That would be cool.
I used to think it was cool that I saw Chappelle.
Yeah, totally. Awesome.
Don't think it's cool anymore.
Would have been cool. I mean, cool up until a few years ago. That would be.
It was
awesome.
Cool up until a point.
Yeah.
I also saw Bill Maher headline a show, which was insane,
dude. I would
because
literally
Gilbert Gottfried
Gilbert
Gottfried was before him.
That's so insane. That's
insane.
Well, Gilbert, I bet it was post 9/11, right? Gilbert Gottfried got in a bunch of trouble after 9/11. If you've never seen this clip,
it was.
If you've never seen this clip, Gilbert Gottfried makes a joke at, I believe, the roast of David Hasselhoff about a week after 9/11 about 9/11, and it's so you're just like, damn, he really had to do it to him. It does not do well in the room. Like it is like it feels like such a time capsule back to a different time. Like, oh yeah, that shit would have really pissed people off, you know?
Yeah. I will say, out of that whole weekend of comedy shows, I don't remember a lot of them, but like Gilbert's set was the standout of the whole thing I saw.
Yeah,
the stand-up set was fucking crazy good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And Bill Maher was, of course, a standout as well. I would do anything. If someone was like, you get to go see Bill Maher do stand-up tomorrow, I'd be like, incredible. I cannot wait. I would do anything in the world for that chance to just hear what he talks about.
Yeah.
Was this the show you sat next to Larry David, Justin?
Yes. For one. So long story short on that, it was a variety show. You could watch it on YouTube. It was called Earth to America. It was about like the planet. It was a variety show hosted by Larry David. But it was just like, it was comedians going up, like Steve Martin and the Bluegrass Band played. Like it was a televised thing on TBS.
Sure.
They sat me all like the furthest corner you could in front of the stage. Like it was a folding chair next to the rows of actual seating. And genuinely in my head, so like I weighed much more than I did now, and I also looked insane. I had like a mohawk and shit. I looked, I did look like a crazy person. But I genuinely thought they were like, oh, they just do not want me on film. Right. This is a filmed event. They're sitting me right where the camera is never going to be near me. But there was also a folding chair next to me. When people got off stage, they would sit in the folding chair for like 5 minutes and watch the next person. So yeah, throughout the night, people sat next to me. The only person that talked to me was Ray Romano, who just tried to do like small talk, like, oh, like good show, huh? Like that kind of stuff.
Well, that's nice. Well, that's nice.
I gave everyone just friendly little nods.
Yeah. The clip of Bill Burr going around with him on Mayor's Pod roasting him is great. Love to see that. Please post that in Discord. You know
that has
what?
been going around.
Ray Romano's a sweetie. You love to see a kind man get the bag. I literally pulled up a video of this, and I was like, my first thought is, God damn, Larry David looks exactly the same as he did literally 20 years ago. Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
It's so crazy.
I rewatched it on stream, some of it recently, and like a lot of it is just not very good.
It doesn't like age well.
Not even. Some of it definitely didn't.
Yeah.
There was one moment where I just scanned to a random moment and someone's joke. I was like, "Ooh," we just scanned right off of it.
Yeah. Different time, folks.
Yeah,
different
time. For sure. That was a crazy. That said, that's my only time I've ever been to Vegas.
You should go. Listen, I'm a Vegas defender till my death. I think it is an awful place that I love. I'm going to go see the Grateful Dead there in a month.
Let's go.
At the Sphere, and
okay.
I'm excited.
Maybe you'll feel like you come to the pussy like Drew Carey when he saw
that's
Fish
what I'm
there.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping for. Really, if it's not this time, maybe I'll do it.
I hope so. I'd like to get back. I will say, if I travel anywhere, I'm big on food. Love food. And I know Vegas is a crazy place for food.
It is. It is. Totally. It's also the most expensive food. Here's the thing. All the good food in the casino part is really expensive, but then there's like a million like really great Vietnamese places, for example, around Vegas and stuff that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, what was I going to say? I had one other thing to say. We got a call. Let's take this call before we end tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? What are you calling about? You're on the air. Root Wizard. Hello? Groot Wizard. Is that anything, Justin?
That's something.
You know, like Groot?
Yeah, like that guy from that movie.
Like Groot, but he's but it's Groot Wizard. All right, well, I don't know what's going on with them. Well, you lost your fucking... Oh, just a moment? All right, we'll wait for him. Man, this is really honestly making me want to get listen to especially Dunkachino's call and listen to all this new ska coming out that I haven't heard.
Yeah. There has been a ska resurgence.
The ska resurgence is coming. There's a wave coming.
Yeah.
You either live long enough to see yourself become, you either die a rocker or live long enough to see yourself become the horn section in a ska cover band. Does that make any sense?
It might. Can I tell you, speaking of a lot of the guys I know from ska bands growing up, there was a moment where a lot of them were doing wedding bands.
Oh, really?
Cover bands. It was a really good gig for I remember all of them too would be like, can you imagine I'm making as much money in a single night in this fucking wedding band as our bands would in a month?
I've heard. Yes, that's so crazy. Root Wizard, are you there?
I hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's up, dog?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good.
Chilling. I love the kill face avatar. A frisky dingo enjoyer.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I also love frisky dingo.
I wanted to talk about Christian ska music.
Please. I don't know anything about Christian ska
music.
That's
what I was into when I was a young idiot.
Let's go. I only know of one.
Which one?
The OC Supertones.
Yeah, they were my favorite. They're probably the
honestly good songs.
Yes,
I liked them too. Yeah.
So what is this like? How, I mean, I know what makes them Christian. Obviously, is the Christian part. But
Right.
like, what is it? Is it like a lot of like church music kind of stuff where it's like your parents were fine with you listening to it because it was Christian, or what? How did you fall into it?
Because when I was in, I don't know, I think I must have been 12, 13. My mom got really into a sort of Christian evangelical cult. And so listening to any kind of rock music was banned. So you had to go out and find music that sounded cool and was good, but was not, cool at all.
Right.
Which was a weird place to be as like a young man.
Yeah. You have to imagine you don't have a huge selection, right?
No, yeah. The Five Iron Frenzy and
Five Iron
the
Frenzy,
OC
sure.
Supertones were the two bands that were any good.
How about Five Iron?
But, yeah. I don't know. It was a weird time.
That's wild.
What I mean, and if you can't say, I'm curious. Was it like a small evangelical church or cult, or was it just like, or is it one of the big super ones?
I mean, yeah, no, it's just like the standard evangelical.
Yeah.
Fair.
Bullshit in the Midwest that you can get involved.
Yeah.
Did you get into any other like genres of Christian
music?
music?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I know there were a bunch of bands that were like Tooth and Nail had a lot of bands that weren't specifically Christian bands, but they were like under that umbrella.
Yeah, it was like Jars of Clay times and all that garbage.
Yeah.
Jars of Clay.
Do you remember Jars of Clay? They had an actual like radio hit for a while.
Really?
Yes.
Man, you know what makes so much sense now? I'm literally piecing this together. I was friends with a kid whose dad was a pastor. They were Baptist, but they were a little evangelical light. And he was always really into Five Iron Frenzy. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like ska too. And now I'm realizing why. It's because they were Christian. I never even knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
They created a whole like separate organization of music, and you could for Christian people. It still exists, I'm sure. That I don't know. I lost my faith not long after that, and stopped listening to ska.
Right.
There's Me Without You was a religious band I was always very into. I know they felt that they were a Christian band for a bit. I know they hit a wall at some point where they were like, no, we don't feel like we're a Christian band. We are like a spiritual band.
Right.
Yeah. They don't want to be tied to any one religion. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool, I guess. But yeah, Me Without You is a cool fucking band.
It is. Yeah, I'm thinking who are the big like Christian bands that have like. I mean, it's so hard. It's like country. It's like so much of that is like old folksy, like is about God, But like, yeah. I wish there was a Jewish ska band. Now that would be cool.
Oh yeah, that's
there had to be.
Yeah, Christian rap is especially bad.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of it was really bad. Looking back, it's just like it's knockoff versions of songs that were popular, which is never good.
Were you like sneaking any music, or were you kind of this was just like you had no access to it?
At that point, I was just into it because I was a true believer. But then, eventually I started reading books and reading the Bible and realizing how much bullshit was in there. And so, I don't know. Yeah, I stopped. And then I was
get you back on that.
No,
we gotta get you back in church, son. You didn't know that's what this show is about? You didn't know that?
Is that what we're doing here?
That's the next segment.
It's a long con. This is a long con of getting apathetic men to religion back into religion.
This is just like the Insane Clown Posse.
Exactly right.
Oh man, I knew a kid who was so into Insane Clown Posse. He loved those guys.
Oh man.
Yep. Is Insane Clown Posse? Oh yeah, they're like openly Christian now, right?
Yeah, and then they became very Christian and.
Yeah, they did the whole they had like a whole like mythos going about them, and then at some point they were like, it's all actually an analogy to Christianity.
Which had to have been an add-on. Like they weren't the whole time. That wasn't their plan.
No way, right?
Yeah. At some point they converted and had to have changed their whole fucking shit.
Yeah, it's actually it was
Jesus the whole time.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a good. It is a good we're talking about good sort of like second acts for bands. Like I think that's a good second act is just be like, yep, we're Christian now. You know what I mean? And you're like, people are like, all right. I mean, I'm sure they converted a couple people. You know,
there's money. I also think a good second act for a band is to go, we're juggalos now.
Yes,
we're a juggalo band now. Yes. I think that's a genuine second path bands can take.
That would be sick. That would be sick. All right. Well, Root Wizard, we'll let you go because we're at the end of the program. But thank you for calling in, my friend. Nice Great to hear from you. And remember, God is always waiting for you to return with his arms open. You know that, right?
Someday, maybe. No.
All right.
Ever.
Yeah. No, yeah. Someday. To yesterday, basically.
It sounds like you just told him to die.
God is waiting for you. Justin, I got a question for you before we end. I think I have sleep apnea. Do you have any thoughts about that? Do you know anything about sleep apnea?
You should get a sleep study. So I will say, I thought I did. And then I got a sleep study, and they told me I didn't.
Really?
And I was like, what the? I was like,
so what was wrong with you? Because I'm like, if it's not sleep apnea, I'm gonna be pissed. Because if it is, I feel like I've just understood the past couple of years of my life, and if it's not, I don't understand anything.
Honestly, for me, it was a combination of I had lost a little bit of. So I did have a sleep study when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I was a much heavier, and they did tell me I had sleep apnea.
Yeah.
I assumed I still had it, got my new thing, but I think it was a combination of I started just sleeping at different times. Like I started sleeping at better hours, combined with losing a little bit of weight, combined with just kind of I don't know what changed in me with sleeping, but now I just sleep like a rock. Like I just lay down on my back and I'm good to go.
I don't, man. Try a neti pot before you go all in on the sleep apnea train. Look, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I'm getting a sleep. I think I'm going to get a sleep study.
Get a sleep study. So I will say, so when I was younger, I did one where I had to go sleep at a place, and that shit was weird. But apparently it's way more accurate. The second one I did where they told me I didn't have sleep apnea was a take home. Where you, like they send you a bunch of shit and you got to put it on yourself. Like you put a bunch of sensors on, you strap a thing over your chest. But I was like, maybe I just did a bad job.
Yeah, right. It's like, why would they trust you to do it? I'd love to go sleep at some weird hospital for the night. I think it sounds fun.
It was so weird being in a little weird bedroom with a camera up in the corner.
That is so strange. Oh, so I guess in my head I was like, oh no, they've got you on diodes. It's like, no, their ass is gonna look at what you do in your sleep.
They did also have a bunch of shit in my hair, like on my head.
Damn.
So yeah.
Well, Justin,
they would let you sleep, and then they'd wake you up and put the machine on you and let you sleep again. But yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Like different machines?
Well, like you would sleep with no machine for like 2-3 hours.
Oh, just so they could see your base. Yeah.
And then they would do it again with like an apnea machine.
Interesting.
But I remember hating the machine. It was just blowing air in my nose. I was like, this shit sucks. How am I gonna sleep?
I think I'd like it, dude. I think I'd like it. I really do. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
they got mad.
It's worth getting checked out. It's a silent killer, that app.
Well, and I wanted to address it because someone said, "Oh, Luke was yawning." Well, guess what? I might have sleep apnea. So fuck you, chatter. All right, Justin. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you're not for some godforsaken reason following Justin, please follow Justin. One of the best to ever do it in the game.
I appreciate it.
An amazing streamer, streams every goddamn day. And Justin, this was such a nice chat, truly.
Yeah, thank you, and I'm excited for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we simply must plug that an all day as organized by Justin, all day stream charity-thon to support the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, which I'm very excited about.
I will say, I see Stefan said I have to up the goal because it already got
Really?
Yeah, it's already at $1,420.
Wow, dude! I haven't even. Damn.
Jesus
Christ. I'm gonna. All right. Well,
we haven't even started yet.
What do you just post the link?
Yeah, I put the link. I put it in.
You send the Tiltify link, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it in the chat. Why not start early?
Why not? Well, shit. Yeah, I'll have to set a new goal.
Come on now. That's so sick. Yeah, we're excited. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna play a bunch of Lethal Company tomorrow and like other stuff. I'm very excited. I also have still not played the new Lethal Company update, so I'm excited. That's now like a month old. So
yeah, hell yeah,
it's gonna be cool. All right, folks, we're going to raid into Pat, who I believe is doing a show called Across the Pond with Libby.
Yes. Yeah.
So excited to see that. Thank you all for being here. I will be back tomorrow morning. I said I was doing a stream before that, but I'm not because I got to go do this sleep thing. But I'll be on in the afternoon as part of this amazing charity subathon. It's charity-a-thon, not subathon. I don't know how it works. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
See you, folks.
Let me turn off the stream. Dude, thank you so much for doing that, Justin. What a nice
yeah, thank you for having me.
Truly. What a blast.
Yeah, it rocked.
Man, I'm very excited. I'm very excited you're coming to TwitchCon, man. It's gonna be so fun to hang out.
Yeah, dude, I'm psyched I'm going. I honestly, and like it's stupid stuff, but I've been TwitchCon. I didn't go to the last one.